Hey guys, welcome to Testing Academy. My name is Pramod, and in this video, we are going to discuss about the advanced API testing question and answers. Alright, this is a part 2 of the series, and make sure if you haven't watched the part 1 that contains 5 important questions which are generally people ask. Alright, in this video, we are going to cover about the questions related to the JSON schema validations, question related to the Postman, where how to do a proper CRUD. We will discuss about what are the different questions asked in the SOAP request, especially, right? What other different questions are related to API automation and POJOs, right? And we will basically cover like the API automation framework coverage, right? I'm going to ask these questions also. Also, I'm going to cover the 5 important live projects that you can basically include. I'm going to include that in this, which will basically give you overall perspective, like what kind of API testing related question generally people ask. All right. After watching this series, I think we have 3 tutorials which are already created. Now we have 2 more. So these are like advanced API testing, guys. Make sure you watch these 5 important overall, and I'm pretty much confident that yes, after watching this API interview question and answers, you will be able to crack any interview related to the API test. Alright, so let's get started and let's jump into it, and make sure you watch this video in 1.5x or 1.2x for better understanding, and please make sure you watch till the end, because in the end I'm gonna put all the PDFs links in the description. You can download them, and whenever it is required, you can basically revise them. Alright, so let's get started. So after so many requests, guys, we are back with the advanced API testing interview question and answers, and here are the videos. All right, 5 important questions. I'm going to give you the 5 important live project that you can try out. If you really want me to explain all of this framework, let me know in the comment. Just type part 3 in the comment or live in the comment, right? I will do that. Okay, let's jump into the first question, which is very important for the API interviews, right? It basically, how will you validate if you have 10,000 records? This is like a very scenario based question generally people ask. Okay, so what will happen is, suppose you are hitting a particular API, right? For example, students API you are hitting. Now what happens is there are 10,000 records you are coming up. Somewhere in like 8,000 of the record, you are basically not getting any kind of response. Okay, for example, 8,000 record, right? Suppose 8132 in that record, you are missing some of the age of the students, right? So how will you validate that? What you will do? You will iterate over it. What exactly you will do? Just think about it for a few seconds and come back. I'm gonna give the answer. Okay. All right. So I hope you have think about it, right? How will you validate over it? Okay. If you have thought about it, like I will just try to iterate over the 10,000 records, then it's wrong, kind of a wrong approach. Okay. Because for example, it is a 999th one, right? 999th one. Then it's a very, inefficient solution for this, right? What you can do is, since we already told this, right? You have to basically verify the data type and the keys, right? Information related information. So what you can do is you can introduce, or you can use something called as JSON schema validation. So you don't have to iterate. So this is important. You don't have to iterate. Whenever you want to check any keys, data type, required fields, or anything related to patterns, right? You can definitely use JSON schema validation. I have explained this multiple times. Don't worry about this. I will put a link also. So let me show you like how you can do in the Postman. For example, this is one of the response that is coming. I have added a JSON schema validation for this, right? For example, ID 1 is coming, name is Pramod, and there are 2 phone numbers are coming, right? So I have added a schema which will validate this. Schema is nothing but a blueprint, or you can say a hard check to basically check. For example, ID should be an integer, name should be a string, phone number, minimum items, it's an array, minimum item should be 2. So 2 phone numbers should be given, and every item is an integer, right? So if you see, it will validate for this. So if any, for example, here, if we see instead of 1, for example, we are getting some string, that it will fail, right? Similarly, I have written the code for the JSON schema validation also. Again, what I would recommend you is just watch the video of JSON schema validation, but here is the answer for that question. All right, now let's jump into I hope this is clear. Whenever you want to validate a data type, pattern, minimum, maximum numbers, you can use JSON schema in the API testing. Okay, so many times this is very important question where you have to write something called as a CRUD of an application. Okay, for example, there is this app which is given, which is called as RESTful Booker. Let me show you like how this looks like. Here it's a documentation of a API given. Okay, API documentation is given to you. Now you have to basically make a collection out of it in the Postman. So how you can do that is very simple. You have to just create a collection in the Postman, add all the API requests here one by one. For example, ping check we have added, get bookings we have added, right? All the things you have added. This is, you have to show practically many times. Okay, So this is what you can do. I will put the link also in the chat so that you can look around. But I would suggest you just give it a try. Go through the documentation. They have basically mentioned that this is a URL, this is a post request, this is a curl. Now basically write some of the test cases for it also, and basically put them into a collection of Postman. This is what they want. Okay, so this is really little advanced question generally people ask you, and they will basically they wanted to see like how you handle post, patch, delete and get requests, especially different type of authentications. For example, here we have a basic authentication available as well as token based or cookie based also, so you can do that, right? And the Postman collection. So Postman collection is given. This overall mind map is already available in the description. You can download and see that. Okay, so make sure you prepare. The second important point is make sure you prepare with the CRUD in the Postman and the collection, as well as write their test cases respectively also. For example, here in the Postman, I think we have written some of the test cases for it. Here, if you see, we have written 2 test cases for a status code as well as for the time, right? So you can add more test cases also. Clear? So third question is basically making a how basically you will use a SOAP request, and how will you basically make that, and how will you basically verify. So it's very easy to basically to work with SOAP in the Postman. I have shown this multiple times. This is a URL, this is a payload, right? In the SOAP we have envelope, and in the envelope we have a body. So if you see, we have an envelope, we have a body available, right? Here what we are doing is basically whenever we pass this 75 in Fahrenheit, it will convert to the Celsius, right? So what you can do is basically you can make a simple request. Let me show you how you can do that, right? Simple request, you just need to click a new HTTP request in the Postman, right? And here you just need to mention the payload. So suppose this is a payload, let me copy paste and go to the body. Here select raw. Here you just have to select XML because SOAP works with XML only. And if you see, you have a bad request available. Why this is a bad request? It's a post request, that's why. The service cannot do because the media type is unsupported. Okay, so what we need to do is headers. We need to add some of the headers. Okay, content type XML. Let's see, text XML. Okay, unsupported type. Why this is unsupported type? Let's check. Amazing, so it's working now. I think we have missed this, which is text XML. This is work. So here if you see, we have a conversion available. What you can do in test is basically you can convert this directly to the JSON. That's where this function comes in, and you have a JSON object, and after that you can basically parse this, right? JSON object. So console.log, if we do that, right? Here if you want to basically fetch the Fahrenheit, right? First of all, you have this key available, right? So after this key, I think I have shown multiple times. You can do that, and after that you have a body available, right? So square brackets, body, and in the body you have this response available, right? So here, if you do that, right, here is the last one, which is the result, right? So you similarly you can fetch and make a response also. In the Postman console, you can see the available, right? Let's see, right? See, the available is so we can convert them response directly into JSON, and we can basically make the SOAP request, right? So this is one of the important things generally people ask. Another important question is generally people ask you is convert your response into the POJO, even with the nested ones. How you can do that? So what exactly is a POJO? POJO is nothing but, if I'll explain it, it's a plain Java object, right? It is basically define an entity. For example, you have a database, right, where database of a student is available, right? If you want to map this directly to a class where you can work on it, right? So it is basically used without any restrictions, and you can basically access the members also. You can set a student ID, the username, pass and everything, and you can get also, right? So that's where the POJO is used. For example, suppose we have this response available, right? This response is available and you want to convert them into this POJO class. What you can do is basically you can go to the JSON to POJO, and here we are converting for a JSON right now, because generally JSON for JSON binding we are using it. So here you can select the JSON and the JSON 2x, right? And after this, whatever the response is there, you can convert them directly. So this is how you can do that. So these are individual classes available for you. Okay, so generally people ask you questions related to this also, like how will you convert them. Okay, explain POJO. POJO is basically used to serialize or deserialize the entities, right? It increases the chances that it can be used by multiple projects. For example, the same POJO can be used by mobile, desktop and console. It's basically, you can say it's an entity classes which can use to basically work on your databases, where you can add new things, work on the new things, and it will basically make your schemas into an object where you can work on it. it. Okay, whenever you start using it, right, you will understand the concept of POJO. And of course, in IntelliJ, there is a POJO generator available. Directly, you can use that. Let's come to the fifth question, right, which is basically explaining your automation framework. Guys, really important. You have to explain it fully, right? What you can do is, I think this framework is available. You can download it, and when you import directly to the IntelliJ, you will find this diagram where I have basically added all the things. So API automation framework, we have multiple things available. We have a source folder, we have a resources folder, we have a pom.xml. In the pom.xml, we have added a dependency of Philo, JSON, TestNG, rest assured, log4j, LOR report that we basically wanted to test, right? In the source, we have main and test. It's a Maven project, that's why. And here, if you see, let me give you. Right, we have 4 important folders, which are endpoint, payload, POJOs, utils. Here we have test cases and actions. Here, if you find, right, here we have constant file, request payloads. Again, all the things that I am basically explaining you, there is a video separately available. You can watch it, but this one you have to see, guys, how basically you have to explain an API automation framework. Many times people will ask you this question, even with the 1 year or 2 years of experience, right? So make sure you do that. And again, as a advanced testing, this is really important. Okay, again, TestNG file, I think we have basically added here. Get request, port request, which are making that you can go through it. So this is already available. You can go through it and check it out. All right, now let's come to the last one, which is showcasing some of the live projects, guys. Why I wanted to show you is basically there are a few things. For example, if you want to see about auth2 flow, because many times people will ask you about the auth 2.0 related, how to basically make a auth 2.0 in the Postman. There is a collection available for here, different authentication available here, local server, JSON schema validation, file upload, GitHub related APIs, all things are available. You can just import this Postman. I'll put the link also, right? Let me show you like how this looks like. Here I have basically given you JSON schema validation run that you can download. Spotify auth2, how to get the proper token and how basically work with the different playlists, right? Here is a demo available, right? Authentication, basic auth2, basic, cookie based, normal, all the logins are available. File upload is also available here. GitHub related APIs, basic with the basic auth available. So you can go through this. This is a video for advanced APIs, guys. Make sure you watch the Postman series at least so that you can look forward to it. And you can download everything here, right? I hope this video was helpful, guys. I know it's a little long, but here we have covered multiple API related questions. And if you want the part 3 where I will just explain everything again, all the live projects, just type part 3 in the comment and I will discuss that, or live in the comment. All right. Thanks for watching this video. Bye. I'll meet you again. Bye.